Tshepo Mekoa is the CEO of Brima Logistics South Africa. Please welcome him to the stage as he shares with us his enthralling story behind the creation of his organization from a one-man, one-truck startup. Believe him when he says, don't let go of the vision. Ladies and gentlemen, Tshepo Mekoa.
Good morning, should I say fellow supply chain colleagues. I see some of our customers are here. I was surprised to learn that they're also here. By way of introduction, my name is Tshepo Mekoa. I am the founder and CEO of Brima Logistics, the 14-year startup. It's quite interesting how I got to this book. I started the company in 2005, but before I do that, so that you can understand, yes, I am a logistician. Worked quite a lot in supply chain. Some years back when I was in my career, when I started with, it's DP World now, I think Imperial. I was a logistic clerk. I was writing gate passes for trucks. And I moved to become a logistics supervisor with MTN. And then I became a logistics manager for Cell C. Then I became a logistics outbound manager for Vodacom. And then I joined a company called Namitex, now bought over by Jamolta, as an executive logistics manager. And then I moved and joined Brima Logistics as an MD. And then I moved and joined Brima Logistics as a CEO of Brima Logistics. One thing remained the same in my entire career. It's always been logistics, 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 logistics. So I felt, let me do that so that at least you can understand why I decided to embark on the journey. Now, throughout my career, but okay, let me put a disclaimer before. I'm not a speaker, all right? I'm a storyteller. Now, I don't like to tell the story because it pains me, and I'll get to a part where it pains me. I know our time is very limited. I'll try and move fast. So I started in 2005 with a dream and a truck, as I said. The truck is named the Old Lady. She has since retired. But I can assure you she's kept in mint condition in our warehouse. She's on the right-hand side when you come to the gate. She's gorgeous, I must tell you. Well, from time to time, I take her on the road. Well, not from time to time. I have not in the last 8 years. They've been trying to get me into the truck, and I refuse. I have my reasons why I refuse. So prior to my career, I saw a gap in the market. Just like in my entire life before I joined Brima Logistics, I became the founder. Now, while I was asking these logistic companies to provide a service, they could only provide an outbound service. And I would say to them, I need to get that parcel there. They say, no, we don't do that because simply the thing is not boxed. How many of you buy a laptop from Macro, you drop it off, you take it home, you throw a box away, and then a month down the line, it's not working. They said, we need to get the box, we need to get the item back. Guess what? It's not boxed. And you send a typical courier said, I can't get it because it's not boxed. And I've had that challenge throughout my career, and I said to myself, we've got to get a logistic company out there that will be able to do this. How did I see that? In my book, there's a chapter where I refer to the I. The I is an ability for an entrepreneur to see something that nobody sees. I'm going to try not to get into this because it's available there. But I just want to tell the story of this company that just grew organically and then went vertical, and then it went down, and then it went up again. So it's an interesting story to tell, but I'm going to try. So I saw the I, scratched it. Jeff Bezos is the richest person in the world. How many times have you said to yourself, why on earth didn't I see this? Why on earth didn't I see Facebook? Why didn't I see Microsoft? How many times have you done that? It's because you have not unleashed the power of the third eye as an entrepreneur. Some of you are procurement managers. Some of you are supply chain. There's opportunities that you see within. Your eye is there. It tells you, you can do this. But you say, yo, I've got a BMW in my garage. I've got a bond. You are trapped in the system. You're not going to get out. You are not going to go up until you decide otherwise. How I went, it's in my book. So I saw the eye. The eye showed me something. It's not like entrepreneurs, they all have. You know, entrepreneurs are those people that, you know, they're quite crazy. They get off the cliff and they just jump, and on their way down, they do one thing, they build a plane. It's crazy, yeah? So how do you jump the cliff and you build a plane? So I said to my wife, I'm doing this. My wife said, how? You got a jack in the garage. I mean, I was an executive head. I was earning quite well. I got a jack in the garage, and my wife said, okay, we've never cashed in on our salary. He said, what are your gut feeling? I said, listen, 8 out of 10, this thing can work. I can get Brima Logistics where I see it. You must have an ability to be able to visualize. I heard. You see, when my stuff works, they are working currently. Now I'm 5 years ahead. You got to be ahead. So I got into the company, bought a truck with a pay slip then. Then you could buy a truck in South Africa with a pay slip, not now. Commercial banks are a lot smarter now. And they closed the gap. So I got a truck and I started. It was hard driving that truck. It's a 4-ton truck and it was quite heavy. I used to be driving a jack. But I did it. And I needed another truck. My wife said, hey, you need another truck. And I said, yeah. He said, okay, I can still buy with my pay slip. My wife said, you know, I think I need to move, find a better job so that we can close the gap of your salary. I said, okay, what about the pension fund? Let's cash in the pension fund to keep our lifestyle going. So my wife said, hey, listen, when do you think we'll make money out of this business? I said, I don't know. Maybe 5 years. They saw 5 years. The MBA students say 5 years. They tell us that business has 5 years to, you know, get going. And I said, well, I'm not going to listen to MBA. I'm not going to listen to the banks. I'm going to do this thing my own way. So we did it. The business started. The business grew. The highlights of the business was 2016. Prior to 2016, I realized that the business was growing organically. I said, okay, let me put some systems in place. That's the second chapter in my book. So when I put systems in my place, I take the likes of, I borrow systems from Bill Gates. Microsoft is a system in my business. I borrow Sage in my business to be able to control this thing that I do. But you got to have, well, today business talk of ISOs. You know, then SOPs were the order of the days, you know. So I put up some SOPs 2015 to be able to control this thing that is growing. All right, so I got it right. Oh, no, I didn't get it right. Up until 2016, I had a horrible motorbike accident, which put me away for almost 3 months in ICU, and of that, 1 month in a coma. I was a touch and go. I was gone, literally gone. I shouldn't be here. But because I've got the power of me, in my book, read it, is there, the 14-year startup, I told this body my mind told my body to get out of this hospital, to get out of ICU. It wasn't easy, it was hard, but I did it. Now, when I was in hospital, I gained the conscience after a month, came out of a coma. The first thing that my wife said to me, because remember, when you're an entrepreneur, you can never separate yourself from the business. The business is you. But you have to separate yourself from the business. That's the hardest part of an entrepreneur, isn't it? You nurture a baby like a mother. You think a mother lets go? They don't let go. Maybe fathers will let go easily. And I'm not saying I let go of my kids. No, I don't. So I was in hospital, and my wife said to me, when I woke up, my wife said to me, listen, I got to tell you this. I could hear. And she said to me, the systems are holding. She was just trying to tell me that, let go. Because I've spent an incredible time telling my staff that, because if I were to ask you and I say, what comes first, your business, your work, or your family? And I know what you're going to tell me. Trust me, you're going to tell me your family, but you lie. If your family comes first, then why are you spending 8 hours with the business? And then you spend 2 hours with the kids in the morning, you spend 2 hours in the afternoon. Yeah? 4 hours and 8 hours with your business. Some of you work colleagues spend 10 hours, 12 hours with your business. Some of you flew all the way, left your kids at home. And then you come and tell me that your business, so your family matters. You're lying to yourself. Your business matters. So I've spent an incredible time telling my staff. Now my wife said to me, listen, Tshepo, you got to let go because we need to heal you. We need to heal you. Let go of the business. The systems that you put not so long ago are holding. Let go. It was hard. Organic growth. I let go. I said, body heal so that I can go. Away from my business for a year. I came back in January. Second, I walked through the door. I've never seen anything like this. This business has done better than me. Grew turnover by 45%. How on earth? In my absence, I was an acting manager, acting MD. How on earth do you grow a business? It's because of the system. That is my chapter 2. That was 2017 when I came back. And then 2017-18, we're hit by what we call a vertical growth with a tailwind. You know what a vertical growth with a tailwind is? It means all is equal. Banks are behind you. Everything is working. You know, business is just growing. And you're just expanding. Now, I want to pause you for a while. So I said to my wife, we'll launch the company when we get to the 6th branch. That was 2005, 6 or so. So 2019, during the vertical growth with the tailwind, you're not playing when you leave your Cape Town. The pilot is going to say, guys, we are 15 minutes late. We've got a tailwind behind, but we'll make it. That's what I mean, 2018, 17 or so, 19 when I had, no, not 19. Early, first month, 2019. We all know what happened in 2019, Feb, March. We all know, don't we? Saddest moment in our lives. How do you forget that? It was a global thing. But I'll get to that. I remember with a tailwind, and I tweeted in 2019, and I said, how do you manage a vertical growing company with a tailwind? That's the hardest thing to do. That's very hard. Pushes you back. Pushes you up. Pushes you up. You just go. You just go. You just go. You want a truck the bank gives you. You want to get a warehouse, you know, they give you. But coming back to this 2018-19, 2005, I said to my wife that we'll launch the business when we get to the 6th branch. Not to the 6th branch. I wanted to build, those who know, Cape Town, no, the Triangle, Joburg, Cape Town, Durban, and I wanted to add Polokwane, and I wanted to add Bloem, and I wanted to add Port Elizabeth, now Joburg. We got to Bloem in 2018. So I went home. I said to my wife, I was quite excited in 2018. Things were looking quite good. I said to my wife, listen, I think we can launch the company now. And my wife looked at me. He said, oh, my God. I said, what? Aren't you excited? He said, are you telling me for the last 14 years you've been a startup company? And I said to myself, oh, my God, never thought of that. Never thought of that, but it's fine. Then, this is where it starts getting a bit painful for me. This is where I don't like talking to you. You see, 2018, it was fine. After my tweet, and I don't know how coincident, it was coincidence. 2019, March, Feb, I tweet, and this tweet just went viral. Everybody liked it. Then my wife calls me, says, where are you? I said, I'm at work. I says, I need to talk to you tonight. That's never a nice conversation when your wife starts saying that. I'm a man. I'm looking. Did I come home last night? I'm trying to check. I'll call a friend. Guys, what did we do something? Well, nothing. So I get home. That's around about March. Yeah, I'm trying to recall. Then my wife said to me, hey, we've got a problem. We're shutting down the country. Okay, she works for the government. I'm not going to tell you. Quite senior there. We're shutting down the country. Oh, you can't close the country. It was COVID then. No. This thing is a Bill Gates thing. It's a Bill Gates thing. This thing doesn't exist. Trust me, this thing doesn't exist. My wife said, it exists, Tshepo. Please get it into your... Love, we're shutting down. What are your contingency plan? What are your plan? What do you have in place? I looked at my wife and said, you're smoking something. There's no way this country is going... I mean, how many of us thought the country would close down? Yes. 2020, yeah, sorry, 20, yeah, 29, yeah, just bear with me, memory, old age, wiser, not old age, yeah, 2020, March, yeah, because 2019, Bloom opened, yeah, fine. Family meeting, yeah, then, oh my God, you're taking me back now, my God, so 2020, yeah, 2020, so, then I see what the president is going to call us. Tried to call my wife. She didn't answer. What is this that she was trying to tell me? She didn't get into details. She said, oh, praise yourself. And it just happened within a space of 2 days. I always stood in front of my staff, and I'm not saying I have answers to all in the business. Well, because I tend to move myself ahead. And when I want, I sort of telepath myself to the future to see and come back and sort of warn them. I get paid to do that in the business. And I said, but how come I didn't see COVID? How come I didn't see it? And I had to come back to the real world, to my staff now, and I had to tell them. Okay, well, that was after I got home, the family meeting. And boom. That's how I went. On earth. I got people working for this business. What am I going to tell? It all changed. We all know what went through. That was March, when I stood in front of my staff and I said, those who believe in anything, whether Christianity, Buddhism, whatever, please pray. I don't know. I don't have the answer, but I know we must shut down. It's an order from the president. I can't help you. They said, are we going to get paid? I said, I don't know. We shut down. I went into a depressed mode. I felt sorry for myself. Only one thing came out of COVID is because I've managed to finish this book. That's the only thing that came out. And then I went to a depressed mode. I was in my staff. That's when I got to see that we've built an asset of value. We have built a legacy business. When my staff, when I was depressed, an entrepreneur, when he breaks, or she rather, he or she breaks, I broke, and I went into I was in my bedroom doing nothing but watching movies, and I don't know, but I was just there. And we're classified as an essential service provider, so some of our customers called on and say, guys, please come, are you having that certificate? Remember that certificate that we're given by the government we got the certificate, we delivered. No, I didn't even want to deliver. I just wanted to fall into depression. I wanted to feel sorry for myself. I was feeling sorry, not wanting to. I was out, down and out. My staff went in, set up a war room, and got the company in 2020 going. They called me, they said, come. I said, no, we finished, guys. This is it. The world is dying. Have you seen in those American movies? Have you seen that horrible movie where there's no world? This is it, guys. This is it. Forget it. I'm preparing to die. They said, no, sir. We've got a company to run. Please get and lead us. I said, no. I refuse. Junior was working for the company. Junior spoke to my wife. Junior said, Mom, just get this man to work. I said, he says there's no road. And I believe. I'm being honest, I believed. And I had to my wife came into my room and said, listen, in the beginning, you got to get out. Your staff have set up a war room. These guys are finding solution which has been set up by government. They are ahead of you. Get out. Okay. Where's my they've emailed the certificate there. You need this when you get stopped by the cop. I took it and I got into the car. Guys, I have never felt like this on the R21 from Pretoria. I was the only one. I'm being honest, I was the only one. Right up until I took the off-ramp from Caesar, that casino, Emperor's. I got there and I said, I was stopped by the cop there. I said, my wife said I must produce this thing. The guy looked at me and said to me, okay, you can go. I said, oh, no. Got into the warehouse, the guys were there. I found them in the boardroom. They created a command center of some sort. They're chaired by the operations manager that I hired some years to fire, but he's still employed. He's an operations director. Interesting. Another story why I say I hired to fire him. And when I got into the room, they said, sir, take your chair. You know, the chair in the middle of, I took the chair and I said, yes, sir. These guys, they found solution like Tersa and everything. They found loans to keep us going. All they needed was just my signature. They said, we've got 20% capacity. But there was no income. We had some cash flow. To make it worse, we're moving in just next month into a 4 times bigger the warehouse. Money has been put into there. That was worse. It's in my book. Now we went from a vertical growing company with a tailwind to a collapsing company. How on earth that happened? I knew that COVID was real. It was not a Bill Gates thing. It was not. But no, actually I didn't. I'll tell you when I got to know. So we get back, okay, we started riding the capacity climb, but we lost a lot of money. It started trickling down into our balance sheet, negative equity. Banks don't like us now. You know, banks like you when you make money, but when you don't, they don't like you. All the fleet, they were telling us that we could not pay, we were having RDs, and all sorts of things. I think 2022, my memory serves me well, 21, we're still in the lockdown thing. They close, they open, they don't know what they're trying to do. But I don't like it at all because it's just messing us up. And I got so sick. Who has had that flu? I don't know how many of you have been hospitalized with COVID. I mean, people had COVID, but not to a point that I had. I think that was a COVID-2, the last number. So I'm sitting, it was Thursday, I'm in a meeting, but I feel horrible, and I stood my staff. And I always tell people that when they got flu, if they're sick, they go home, they're sissies. Excuse me, I sound a bit out, but because that flu doesn't make me get sick. If my staff, I said, I come and get a cough mix and work. That's how I am, that kind of a manager I am. But that day, I said, guys, I'm going home. They look at me and say, are you a sissy? So what? I said, I'm sick, guys, I don't know. I said, I knew what is it like to get a flu. So, okay, I went home. Now, I said, hey, you're not looking good. I was sweaty. Friday, I went to the doctor that Thursday. None of us, the doctor happens to be a personal friend from childhood. And both of us believed, he's a doctor, but he believed in the Bill Gates thing. So they gave me an injection. I went home, got home. So when I got home, my wife, God came to work, saw me. He said, what's wrong with you? The blankets are wet. What's going on? I'm sick. Friday, I went to work. I'm not a sis. I went to work. But 12 o'clock, I could feel it at the work. No, man, something is not right. But long story short, Sunday, I woke up my wife at 2 o'clock and I said, something is not right. Take me to the hospital. That's all I remember. The next thing I remember, I woke up out of ICU. I had collapsed lung. My wife told me this. She said, when your body gets in, you collapse, you die, you deprive oxygen to you. You know, I'm not a medical person, but I was told by the time I got into ER, I was like finished. But I must share something. I've been in ICU before. So my wife said to the doctor, said to my wife, I've got 10 patients there with, it's not looking good. I got to tell you, they don't come back at that level. being a wife and being told that. But for some reason, my wife said to the doctor, he is going to come back. So how do you know? He can beat the ventilator. I didn't know I can beat the ventilator. But I did. It was hard. Came out of hospital. It was almost a month. You see how big I am? Well, how small I am. But I lost weight to 34. My wife had to get me some extra small pens. I suffered long COVID. I couldn't go to work for 6 months again. And the business needed me by then because it was going. It was hard. Those were very hard moments. But it went past. We got it right to a vertical. And then something happened. Now remember when Brima gets sick, I get sick. Something happened. Something interesting. Something that started breaking me apart. We grew, we closed, had a turnover, negative equity, dropped, but it's still not going to make the bank happy because you deem technically insolvent. That's the word they use. But our customers were very supportive, I must tell you. Throughout our challenges, they stood by us. And then I grew largely public sector, not private sector. So last year I took a decision that we are now going to do the public sector. When I say private sector, I mean your enhance here in the house with our customers. Vodacom is here. Trade port is here. Our customers, they're here. But I want to come back to that. So when we grew, when we ended in Feb, we landed this, after we landed this huge, it's like a monopoly of Korea in government. It's called a transversal tender. That thing is, and I got only 3 branches, by the way, remember. And it took me 14 years to open up 6 branches. Think about it. Now you get this huge, like as in, I'm trying to contract. And they keep on coming in. You move from an organic growth again, you now face the vertical. But this time, with a downward wind. The banks are saying no to your growth. No money to grow the business. And you've got good contracts. Even the private sector is just coming on board because you have built an asset of value. They've seen that you've built something that is bigger than you. You understand the end game. Because people want to do business not with Tshepo. People want to do business with Brima. When Vodacom signs us up, they don't sign me. They sign the business. Now the vertical growth comes with tailwind. It's hard. It's like you're trying to stand up, but someone is pushing you down. You know when you're trying to stand up, someone lifts you. It's quite easy. You know? Then I went into when we got the tender, I saw my staff were celebrating, hitting the bell. We got a bell at work, hitting the bell. But I was not. I was quite sad. So I've got a restaurant in the township. It's a fine dining, so I went to it. It's called Brima Cafe, so I went to it. And I said, can I have a double cognac? I don't even drink cognac. I don't know why that day I wanted a cognac. I drink a gin. So the guy said, the barman said, but why are you having this today? Everyone was excited, but I was not. So I went home. I told my wife, I said, listen, we've got this. My wife said to me, oh my God. My staff were excited, but I was not. Because I knew what's going to come. I knew what it was going to do to me. It was going to rip me apart. I'm an entrepreneur. You probably sit in there and say, but wow, you should be excited. No, it's not that. I'm too much of a business excellence. It's got to be right. It's got to be done right. I love German engineering. I love the way they do it. I get inside a BMW and says, what could go wrong in this car? So that's how I see Brima. What could go wrong? From the way we spec it, the brand, the vehicle, the processes, just living the brand, wearing uniform Monday to Sunday. How do you, I wear my clothes Monday to Sunday. I refuse to wear Gucci. I refuse to wear, because I don't know who's Lacoste. Why would I? My staff would tell you. I wear Brima. I wear myself. But this is where it gets interesting. Time allows, got 15 minutes to go. I'm trying to compress this quickly. I told you I'm not a speaker, I'm a storyteller. So now I'm sitting in my office, everybody's still excited. My son closed the door. My son said to me, Junior said to me, it's eating you alive. I said, yeah. From that day, I started getting into a sleeping pill thing. I can't sleep. My mind doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. I don't know when it'll stop. But then my son said something very funny. He came with a video, he showed me the video. I think you must have seen this movie, White House Down. Jamie Foxx. Where they sat in the movie, he showed me, he said, Dad, look at this. And I looked at it and I said, Junior, why are you showing movies now? He says, Daddy, I you wrote the book, you spoke of the Matrix. I wanted to find a movie that motivates you. I wanted to find a movie that inspires you, that will... I said, what? Now, what must I watch now? I see, I said, I've seen the movie. He said, no, Junior, Daddy, please watch. Okay, Junior, I watch. You probably saw it, where the pilot, they were taking the pilot was taking the vice president. There was going to be some, I don't know what was going to be, I just don't remember, where the plane had to fly up, and he said, the pilot announced, he said, Mr. Vice President, we've got to take this plane to 30,000 feet in 4 seconds. It's going to be the hardest takeoff. It's going to be the hardest something you've ever felt. Something like that. He said, Mr. Vice President, something like sit tight. We're going to take this bird to 35,000 feet in 4 seconds. It's like a vertical growth that my son said, Dad, that's ours. That's you. You got to take this plane into... I said, Junior, how the hell on earth? It's a movie, my son. He said to me, but Dad, you wrote the book about the Matrix. Why did you write the book about the Matrix? There's a chapter here, folks, it's called The Matrix. It's quite an interesting chapter. It'll make your thinking a bit different. And I said, Junior, you're telling we must take Brima Logistics into 35,000 feet in 4 seconds? He said, yes. He says, Dad, you've got to open up 3 branches in less than 5 months, in less than 3 months. I said, Junior, it took me 14 years to open up 6 branches, my son. Are you crazy? He says, well, you got to do it. He left me in my office. Called my wife, and I says, how do I open up 5 branches in 3 months? He says, I was afraid of that. That's my wife. Because it's going to eat you. He said, you've got to find a reason why you're going to do what you're going to do. You're going to sacrifice yourself for others. When you go out, someone said, my wife said, go out. I went out. So what do you see? So what do you mean, what do I see? Well, lots of things. I see, do you see cars? I said, yeah. Who drive those cars? I says, well, my staff. Yes. They got bills to pay. You have to sacrifice yourself for them. We started. Yes, we're opening 5 branches in 3 months. The hardest takeoff we've ever felt. And we are self-funding. We're beating the tailwind. We're thinking Concorde. Concorde went through the wind. Those who know Concorde, in our life, we had Concorde. Concorde is that thing that had a Concorde plane. It could just be like through the wind. So my son also spoke about it. He said, Dad, I heard there was a Concorde which was faster I said, Junior, why are you like, we're not Concord. He said, but Dad, we got to go through that wind. Your wind, the tailwind. Folks, in building this enterprise, this organization, the 14-year startup, I was quite mindful of what we sell. It sounds easy to say, look at reverse logistics and boom, you get trucks and you do it. There were other services that came into it. Your courier service, because now you ask, I'm talking about, but we set up a reverse logistics now. What happened? You're now talking about courier. No, courier just fell off. It just came up. It was one of the services that we add up. Warehousing. Okay, maybe let me put it in this context. We've got 4 services: clearing and forwarding, warehousing, courier, and reverse logistics. They follow. It's a basket of services. Sounds nice, huh? So, but the main one that started the business is reverse logistics. This other one was just clients. When I go and I say to them, okay, I'll collect it, Standard Bank, I'll collect it from all over you want, and I'll put it in a reverse logistics. But if you can collect that thing that is not boxed, can't you deliver something that is boxed? I said, oh, okay, that's quite easy. I'm going there anyway. Imagine, I can tell you, I charge, sometimes, like Lexmark, one of our clients, I bring the machines from all over. Some of them I warehouse. I charge them for that. I courier them. I charge them for that. 5 years down the line, they tell me to go and get it back. I handle one serial number 3 times, if not 4 times. So I sweat that asset. Huh? So interesting what reverse logistics can make you do. So reverse gave birth to others. Now, I wanted to understand what we sell. I wanted to understand. And because if I can ask you, what do we sell? I know you're going to tell me, you sell reverse logistics or you sell courier. If you can go to McDonald's and say, McDonald's, what do you sell? What business are you in? If you can go to iPhone, love iPhone so much. My company uses iPhone. If you can ask, what does iPhone sell? Or what does Nike sell? People say, Nike, Nike sells running shoes. No, you're wrong, they don't. What business are they in, Nike? If you go to Avis, and Europe rent a car, you ask what Europe sells, and I know you're all going to say they rent cars. they're not in the car rental business. But the third R makes you see differently. I've just quoted about five companies. I can go on and on. So for me to understand what we sell as Brima, I needed to understand what the other guys sell. And I'll tell you what we sell. We sell time. Because when you come to us, you say to us, Brima, can you please pick up today and deliver tomorrow at 12? All our clients are interested in one thing, time. That's what they want. We were selling 95% on time before this huge contract. 95% on time. We dropped to 40%. We're horrible. But we're working on the system because we took quite a lot. We're working and we're relooking at our systems. Where are we failing? And it takes time. It sounds funny. We take time to sell time. So now, to get the machine going, it's not easy. Now, we know what we sell. I've just asked you, Nike. We all know the guy that just got out of prison with a girlfriend, and boom on us. He was on TV. He was only wearing one brand. I don't know if you watch TV. He was wearing Nike. You know that today you can go to a nightclub wearing Nike. I'm telling you, you can wear Nike. That's one of my favorite brands. You wear Nike. So what business are they in? Ask yourself. They're in the lifestyle business, bro. That's what they sell. They sell lifestyle. It's fashionable to wear Nike. But run about the 28s, 70s, or 60s. No. You only wear Nike when you run. Now, today, I can fly from Cape Town wearing Nike. My wife wears this thing like Connie Ferguson's when they exercise. You know, Connie Ferguson, they wear Nike from here to here to here to here to here. Women love it. They go to the gym just to show off Nike. I said, really, guys, come on. So it's a lifestyle thing. Now, when you land at the airport, you want to get a car from Avis. They will never give you a car without that thing. Why? Ask yourself, why? They will never give you a car. No, not a driver's license. They'll never give you a car without that thing. And they want it so much. Only one thing. Only one thing. Let me pick on you. What do you think they ask? Only one thing. Huh? Credit card. Have you asked yourself why they want your credit card? when I hold $6,000 for 14 days, how many are they holding? Oh God, these guys. And they fool us thinking that they're renting cars. They're not renting cars. They're lying to us. Think about it. Apple, what do they sell? Don't tell me they sell iPhones or AirPods. These guys are in the radical space. Sell radical ideas. That's what they sell. Things that change your life. Don't worry about phones. So when you start a business, you got to think about what you sell. There's a lot of business that I could go out and say, I know you are not selling this. I had a call with MultiChoice. I was so frustrated with my DSTV. I said, you all one day going to have a Kodak moment. Because you are not seeing your call. You are not seeing what your competitors are doing. Folks, I saw this where it says, if you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. I can bet you 1,000 rands. BMW at the back is not the same as BMW in front. I'm not getting into the book. I'm not going to get into the book. I was told to come and tell a story about the 14-year startup that exists and operates within the supply chain. If I get into a book, I need a session. There's 4 chapters here. Interesting. First chapter is the I. The second chapter is the systems. No, matrix. The movie, Neo, I talk about the movie. The third one is the systems, how to keep Neo in order. And the last one is the value. You know, let me ask you. Well, let me not ask you because we still have about 5 minutes. When Jeff Bezos got divorced some years ago, I bet you all here looking at one thing. How much is the wife going to get? No, I wasn't looking at that. I was only looking at one thing. Because then Jeff Bezos was the richest man in the world. I was looking at one thing. He's controlling stake in the business. And I shared this with my wife. The name of my business is Brima. Brima is B-R-I, Brian. That's one, my other name. M-A is my Matieti. That's my wife's combination. So when I was chatting about this, my wife said, oh, and the company was named by my wife, not me. She was pretty smart, this woman. Huh? So she said to me, when I was chatting about this Jeff Bezos divorce thing, she says, me, I won't do that. I'll take the M-A away. So, folks, I said to her, okay, fine. He said, you can have to change the name. Brima, you can keep your BRI, but the MA I'm taking. So Jeff Bezos did a very nice, smooth, and actually, well, we don't know the details to the divorce, but we were told that they are okay, and I hope they're okay for the sake of Amazon. If you look at all this other, they saw something. There's 4 rich guys, or 5 of them. They saw something that you didn't see. Now, I heard you. The third eye is not where, is not here, is here. You got to scratch it, not like Jacob Zuma, though. You got to scratch it very nicely, and you will see a potential. What's missing? You have the answer. I'm going to end it up here, folks. My name is Tshepo Mekoa again. I am not a speaker, I'm a storyteller. Thank you.